Oh yeah. Okay, so this stuff freezes. I can grab some. Hey Boris, how's it going? YouTube looks like it went through a bit of an update. This stuff, this stuff looks different. Oh wow, that must be from the side quest. I did not realize we picked up that. Hey Madrox, I'm pretty good. Had a good visit with my brother. Ate like a freaking king over just the last few days because a good chunk of what I wanted to show him in Pittsburgh was a good weekend. Oh, this is finally back. Is it for units? No, it's not. Okay. Well, that's a bummer because if it were for units, I definitely would have picked it up on my alt account. Ooh, these are finally back. It had been a little bit. Okay, now we can get to it. This stream may be a little bit random. Annoying. Might actually have been my internet because like OBS is being slow. Don't love that at all. Okay. Good news about this is that if they waited until July 4th, I might not be able to stream on the offers, but I should be able to Friday. That'll be interesting to talk about. Oh, that's right. Level up is up. Okay, I've got some time. I need to go. Let me think real quick. Rampant speculations about the login calendar? No, thank you. I'm sure there will be some 6-star resources, some rank up resources. That's all that feels truly safe. So I can do another rank 3, right? Yeah. Medusa's lit up. Hmm. So science and mystic. I'm missing 4CC. And tech. Jeez. I could open some of those. I was considering taking up Sunspot, but I feel like Battlegrounds are far enough out that I'm not sure I necessarily want to do that. Easy. How's it going, man? That's kind. How's it going, Believe? I'm also just really tempted to take up Airwalker. Almost purely for the meme. But he did really well in incursions as a rank 1. I kind of want to just take him up just to mess with him at rank 2. Like, Miguel obviously needs to go up, but T4CC is a real problem. I just took I-Bomb straight to rank 3. Hey, Eduardo, how's it going? I'm just sitting here pondering what to rank. I'm really tempted by Airwalker. I know that people probably think I'm insane for that. I could take up Storm. Like, I know she's good. Just don't see myself really using her anywhere, and I kind of regret taking her to rank 2 on some level. Hood, how many? I think I'm really low on Mystic as well, right? Didn't I only have like 3 T4CC? 2, even worse. So maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I just need to open some of these. Doesn't look like they want me to take Hood. Music. Cool with the music. Or with the mutant. I can't speak today. Good lord. Okay, let's go take a look. First off, what did that put into overflow? We have a ton of mutant. It's basically just mutant, right? Ugh. I don't really want to take up Storm or Sunspot, but I feel like they're kind of backing me into a corner. We still don't have enough. We're at 7. So I could take Hood to rank 2, but I couldn't take him further. Nah, Psycho Man, like, that's a fun meme rank up, but with Silver Centurion, Ghost, and Vision all at rank 2, I just cannot blow tech resources on him right now. I could take Storm. Seems really boring. Yeah, I don't know. This is the fun one, so I'm just gonna do it. Got Mole Man. Nice. Congrats, noobs. Best options for Node 20 Man thing. Omega Red is very reliable. Doom, it's a little harder for Doom this season, but he can still definitely do it. Diablo can do it. Again, a little harder this season. Negs can do it. I think it's actually a bit easier for him this season. We've sent that a fair amount. I know MP Blaze has taken that. Uh, there are others, but those would be my favorites. If you're going to use Cap, it's important to remember that he's armor break immune. And so you would actually want Sam for your synergy, and then also a skill instead of the normal Cosmic and skill that you would take there. Hey, user, you're allowed to have all of the mass produced opinions you want. Finally duped Bishop. Nice work. Congrats. Mutant Defender. Eh. Like that would be basically just Sauron, easy. And like I don't have enough to take him all the way from rank 1 to rank 3. I'd considered it, but very, very few mutants go on defense anyway. Corvus is just too big a problem. Hey Mike, how's it going? Took Medusa and Negs to rank 2. Very cool. Still need to awaken my Medusa, or awaken my Negs. Hey Mike, how's it going? He's fun. I'll have to do some incursions this weekend. I definitely don't see him as underwhelming. I think he's not played particularly well often. Um, but like the fact that I have both Penny and Maw at rank 3, which are his best synergies, I'm happy to have him. I enjoy playing him. It's a cool play style. And there goes all my gold, but that's also okay because we all know July 4th is coming, and let's be real, there's always a weird amount of gold in those offers. Yeah, okay, we have one of these. Hey, Slay. Yeah, that's fine with me. They have to let me take an occasional boss. Um, yeah, you have to ramp to be able to use it. Penny shortens the ramp. You can use it after the first fight, but I really think that his special 3 is overhyped a little bit. And I think that the special 1, special 2 rotation is a lot better than it gets credit for. Okay, level up's not quite done with that. Was there a 4-star or something that I was going to take up for dueling? That sounds very possible. Who's annoying on defense? Okay, Scorpion definitely. Somebody else. Raven, Sauron. Oh, I've got a 6-star sword. Who's brand new and annoying? Okay, Black Cat sounds like a good candidate. Let's take her up. Yeah, Mystic is awesome. We'll see on the Jane buff. It's not that I don't have faith in the capacity of Kabam's buff department, but I think that Jane needs a little bit more than the last few characters that have been buffed, and there's no guarantee that's what she got. On cooldown, yeah, I already did that. Let me do. You found him. Oh, you know what? Before I go on, let me go ahead and do this real quick. Um, so I can get that side or the what you call it, objective thingy. Had a lot of fun with the off-season war, Rintra and Arcus. Very cool. Yeah, Rintra versus Terrax does sound good. I've done a little bit with the 3-star Hulkling. He does seem kind of interesting, but I don't really feel like I know what I'm doing yet. That is impressive. I feel like I actually don't have as many mutants at rank 3 as you would think. It's a below average class for me. But it's not that I don't like mutants, I just don't have a lot of the best ones. I'll leave you to that, user. I am not a fan of Kang. Yeah, he hits hard, but not quickly. I'm just not that impressed with him. The power drain is good, but power drain is the weakest form of power control. It's resisted a lot. Hey, Grinfeld. Alberto. To boost raise your arena score? I believe so, because it raises your PI. It's generally not considered a good use of boosts, but I'm pretty sure it does work, yes. Can I cook a risotto? I don't think I have, but I'm sure I'm capable of it. I've cooked a lot of other things, and nobody is. I don't know. I'm not aware of risotto having a reputation for being particularly difficult. How's it going, Dot? I mean, it's possible, user, but I think that the real argument for using generic rank up resources is you should use it on the class where you're not pulling those resources. Because in a broad sense, yeah, mutant is probably the best class for those things, but I have like 10 mutant T4CC and overflow, and I'm sitting here not having 3 other classes. So I definitely don't think that's the call for me. I haven't done the side quest on the mini yet, Madrox. That is, I was considering doing that today, but I figured I'd start slow with this. Hey, Snoozy. That was dumb. What was that? You're gonna do your first tattoo soon? Nice, man. Good luck. I do not. Probably will at some point. Um, but haven't done it yet. Yeah, Slay, that definitely checks out for you. If you're gonna use her true potential, I don't think Kitty requires you to run recoil at all. Um, but she does require you to actually put work into her for it to be at all worth it. So I don't really think that not using double edge is the key to that particular decision. It's Funny easy. I don't know that I'm gonna go with sucks work, but I did have a similar thought looking over the skill class the other day. Like I'm missing Fury, I'm missing Mole Man, but other than that, I don't really feel a strong. Like I would like a Black Cat. I would like a few other skill champions, but it just doesn't feel critical to me. It definitely. I think the other thing is that it's not just that the class is weaker, although I think it is. It's also that there's so much overlap between a lot of the characters that you just kind of stop needing them at some point. Because I think there is a bit more variety among mutants and cosmics, and definitely mystics. I don't know why I did that. I was like, oh, I'm going to be unblockable when I throw my special. And I pretended I was unblockable on my basic. Hey, Ultimate. Welcome, Fred. Can rank up a 6-star tech to rank 3. Need some advice. Well, who do you already have ranked and what are your options, Fred? Because that's a really open-ended question. Need an Electra? Maybe after they buffer. I have an Electra, actually. That's funny, Slay. Yeah, Nimrod is very helpful. Yondu was doing well in my testing, but he's obviously not as strong as Nimrod. Yeah, I agree, Work. That's what I was getting at. Awakened Warlock, Spooked Mysterio, Spark, Ghost, and Darkhawk. Um, Again, it depends on what you need. Like, if you're talking, oh my god, almost unhid them because Slay just beat me. Thank you. Imagine being that incredibly pathetic on the internet and trying to call somebody else a virgin. Hard to process. Anyway, like if you're looking at tier 1 war, out of those, I would pick Warlock right now. But if you still have a fair amount of Act 6 or 7 to explore and you're having trouble with it, well, then Ghost is still one of the most broken characters in the game. Those are definitely the obvious two. If you're looking at Battlegrounds, Warlock is okay, but Unduped, I think I might actually prefer Stark just because of how quickly he gets through things. I don't think I'd take up Mysterio and Darkhawk given those options because as much as I like both of them, they're just too old. Hey, buddy, how's it going? 3-star Gwenpool, I nearly defeat. Okay. Act 6 nerfs, been working through Act 6 exploration, going well so far, but we'll see. Represents 6. I honestly don't know, Ultimate. I didn't really use a guide on that. I more just go to infographics. Cats are really great for that stuff. And then try to plan out the paths based on who I have, answering the challenges. Because guides, I don't know, it part of it is the way that my luck has historically been, but guides just aren't that helpful if you don't have the obvious answers. And if you have the obvious answers, then you probably don't need the guide. That's just kind of how it's always been for me. Like that's my general experience with content is that if I find it difficult, I'll tend to like go and talk to other people I respect and I'll be like, "Hey, I'm finding this kind of difficult. What did y'all do?" And they're like, "Well, I use these three characters that you don't have." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. So it's going to be difficult." And then I go back and deal with it. But that's kind of like the basic feedback loop. Where do I stand on Jubilee? Curious, basically. I've heard some people whose opinions I respect say that she is more fun and effective than her reputation suggests, but even those have said that she's a bit random, hard to play, and not quite worth the upkeep. So, I don't know. I'm not about to start any crusades for her. Seems like maybe a value update would take her a little bit further than the common consensus suggests, but that is pure speculation. How much time does it take to learn Ghost? Not that long, Snoozy. Um, what I did when I first pulled Ghost was I just took her into Uncollected Event Quest and did the whole thing with her. Learn that way. I never made a guide on her because it's not that complicated. But basically, I recommend, kind of like I outlined with Tigra, take a one piece at a time approach to her kit. If you're brand new to her, start by learning to phase one hit, medium. Do nothing else for a few fights. Get that timing down. When you have that, try and do two hits, medium, two hits, medium. Then start working on throwing the special immediately as you phase. And bring Wasp just because you want to start with it being easier. If you can phase two hits and throw a medium and then dash back into a special two with Wasp on the team, congratulations, you can do as much as 85% of Ghost players. So learn that and then start taking her into other content and think about the fact that she is still a character that can do things like step back, heavy counters, etc. Yeah, I generally do not ask Slay what he did for a specific fight. That is true. I don't know, Slay. I still think I'd probably go science. I mean, you can go tech for Nimrod, but I think with class nexuses, I try and balance not only what I want the most, but also where it's going to be hardest for me to miss. And if you're just opening tech for Nimrod and no one else, It's going to be pretty easy to miss. Yeah, Slay does not need more mutants. Finding it tough to break down big chunks of text. There is that, Ultimate, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And that is kind of the central challenge of this game these days. Hey, Zach, how's it going? More worth the gem, Ghost, or Nimrod? Um, I'm not surprised that Noobs is saying Ghost Max, and that's probably going to be your most common response. I would use it on Nimrod because I'm more likely to invest in him long term and I'm more likely to play him. He's less likely to be banned in war. I just I prefer Nimrod, and even at low sig, I find his signature ability very valuable. I think that low sig Ghost is technically better. Like, yeah, she does gain some power. She starts phased. You get that shrug right away. But at low sig, the power gain is not a lot, whereas Nimrod instantly doubles his armor ups against mutants and gets unblockable special attacks in Eradicate. Those are both very strong abilities. I mean, Nimrod does. People say Nimrod doesn't need Awakening, but that's kind of backwards. Nimrod is good enough that he is worth ranking without his Awakened ability. His Awakened ability is still incredibly strong. And anyone who tells you he doesn't need it probably has not played with an Awakened. Yeah, I agree with what. 700 units for July 4th. Good luck, Zach. There have been a character held in high regard by the community, but I've never understood why. For you, it's Claire. I feel like you're trying to trigger me, Brakar. I mean, to answer your question, Colossus. He's very overrated. But then to answer your implied question, Claire is good because she has so much utility and she can customize what she has or how she brings it to bear for individual fights. She approaches buff control in a way that nobody else does. She's one of only a few mystics who can heal. She doesn't need to crit for her special 2 to do good damage. There's a lot of reasons why Claire is good. But she doesn't have to be for everyone. Not everybody likes playing her. And if you're running recoil all the time, then you never see her utility. And if you don't run recoil all the time, but you're one of those people who kind of wishes they were running recoil all the time, then you're probably not going to enjoy her damage. So she's not for everyone. Thank you, work. Nick Fury is on the list of champions that you don't understand why they're that good, noobs. Because Nick is borderline broken. There's still a lot of people who rank Colossus in the early game per car. He still has some very, very hardcore fans. I'm not sure what you're trying to get at, noobs. I understand how Nimrod works. Are you aware that you can change the modes by finishing your combos with a light attack? That felt like a really slow counter. I was kind of expecting to be parried. Oh, shush, Slay. Noobs, I would encourage you to try typing out complete thoughts before hitting enter. Um, because it can make the chat a little bit difficult for other people to follow, especially if they're on mobile or something and have limited real estate, if you're just going one clause at a time. So maybe try and discipline yourself by using comma instead of hitting send a few times and see if that helps a little bit. I promise you we can handle paragraphs. If you're having trouble controlling your lights and medium attacks, then just try doing some fights and only doing one or the other. Swipe for mediums, tap for lights. Mute Professor XT. Damage. I still don't think he's top tier, Buddy Lee. I think he hits hard. I don't think that's the same thing. Noobs, I did make a request. If you're gonna get indignant about it, I might have to do something. Please be nice. Welcome, V. Hey, Images. How's it going? Are you sure you're on the right channel, V? Um, I'm not exactly a champion of Ghost. But I'd also caution you that I'd be very careful getting yourself like I don't enjoy Ghost. Not so much anymore anyway. I played her a lot at one point. She just kind of trivializes some things. Um, but I would recommend you try and avoid getting yourself into the rhetorical space where you say that a champion is losing fights for you. Because that probably means that you're losing, like, I would say I'm losing fights with this character. Like, a lot of people are very good with Ghost. The problem is not that she sticks. The problem is that for some reason she's not jiving with your playstyle. That's totally fine. But, like, that's a different place for discussion, if that makes sense. Well, Heimdall is generally considered not very good. He's just very undertuned. The ceiling he gets to isn't really worth it, and his floor is. Like, he has some unique utility, but these days, like, Odin is in the game, there's no reason to ever use Heimdall. I'm sorry to hear that, Images. I didn't mind that one, but, you know, there is a lot of pairing the way most of us play that one, so I understand inputs being annoying for you. Well, I'm not just talking about word choice, Shadow, because like that would be being pedantic for the point of being pedantic. What I'm speaking to is that oftentimes, like, words shape thought. And so if you get in the habit of wording things a specific way, you're also assigning agency, you're assigning causation, you're assigning like you're reinforcing thought patterns. And sometimes you have to be careful about those. It's kind of like imagine you've had a lot of people not call you back after dates, right? And after every time you say, "Why does this keep happening to me?" That is a very different statement than "What am I doing wrong?" Because one of those is fie on this cruel universe, and one of those is what can I change? And so that's kind of where I'm going. I know. But that's the thing is that, like, what I'm saying is that I think it also shapes your thoughts, and sometimes that can make it a little bit hard to get out of a rut. And as far as shaping our thoughts, don't worry about it. Like, we're not gonna stop talking to you because you lose fights occasionally. You don't need to shape our thoughts so that we don't judge you. I don't understand that particular example, Max, but yeah, I think we're on the same page. Lose fights more than occasionally. I think we all lose fights more than we would like. I know I do. Shout out to Kabam for putting Nimrod on map 8 because you feel so comfy with his specials now. Yeah, I know what you mean. Because like that's always they always do that where it's like they add somebody new and annoying to the AQ map whenever they update it. But the trade-off is you get very comfortable with them as a defender. It's definitely helped me as well. Because it's a fight where I can usually use Venom Pool, who's borderline immortal against Nimrod, and so I get a lot of practice. I've gotten hit a lot in those fights, like a truly embarrassing amount. But I am getting better at that special one of 8 as a result. Nice, Saragos. Congrats on the pull. Um, I will fully admit that Cersei is not at the top of my priority list for guides because my fellow officer MU8 made a guide for her. And so I may get to that at some point to put my spin on it, but I don't really feel a pressing need because I know that that work has been done. And I think Bryce is a very smart guy who thinks about the game similarly to myself. So my first instinct would be to point you towards that. Hate when you're about to win, you're trying to willpower heal and you get hit. I understand that one. Back when I was using Hyperion for most of Act 5, there were definitely times when I would go back, trigger the healing, and then promptly get hit and lose the benefit of said healing. Gotcha. Uh, yeah, I've heard the true crime thing. Can we see the future champs in Arena? Not really, Leo. You can predict the basic champions based on the previous arena schedule, and there are sites that keep track of that to let you know who's probably coming back when. But Kabam doesn't announce the features ahead of time. So we're all kind of waiting on that. We know that every 2 weeks there's probably going to be a new champion in the feature arena because that's how they release them. But that's about it. Can we have a moment to talk about how great Hyperion is? He is so much fun. And I'm happy that he's in Hickman's Avengers run since I just started that. I'm looking forward to seeing more of his comic uh, persona. Sounds good, Circus. Hey, Manscore. Like Storm, but I don't quite think her buffs were actually buffs. Oh, they definitely were. She hits insanely hard now, V. Yeah, Hyperion's regen is very, very good. I think part of people underestimating him in the old days was just that a lot of people never really figured out how to reliably activate it. Because you do have to manage the charges, and if you're just spamming heavies and special twos, then you're not going to heal. Can soon either rank another champ to 2, Havoc or Sorcerer Supreme. Um, I do think Havoc and Sorcerer are both quite good. I'm not really aware of a channel showcasing a lot of Havoc play. Actually, does Jolly have some of that? No, I'm not seeing much. I know Work has done a fair amount of Havoc work, no pun intended, within the last season, but I don't really know of anybody showing off Havoc. For Sorcerer Supreme, Strands has some stuff. I know MP Blaze has some great Sorcerer things. And then B McG over in 4 Loki also has a fair amount of Sorcerer content. Because he has a rank 4, if I remember correctly. They're both very good. If you're looking towards Battlegrounds, I think Havoc is stronger, but I think Sorcerer is probably better elsewhere at the moment. He's a very, very good character. That's funny, Madrox. Sweet NKT. Thanks, Work. When does Act 7 get hard? I mean, depending on who you ask and what your definitions are, ever. Chapter 3 is the most grindy of it, but it's not really intended to be bruising. It's intended to be fun and enough of a challenge to justify the rewards, and that's basically it. Please crit. Nope. We knew Yellow Jacket would suck. Yep, one crit though. Cool. Okay, so basically you're between Ghost and Stealth. I would take up Ghost for sure. Um, like Stealth is fine, but especially if you have like his new synergies. But I'm guessing you probably don't have all of the newest, latest, and greatest characters, which means that you're back to Stealth just being fine. Whereas I find Ghost rather boring, but she is incredibly effective, especially if you plan to go back and explore basically any of Act 6. She's very good. Yeah, if you feel like you're weak on Mystics Max, I would just go ahead and take Sorcerer to rank 3 and not think further on it. She's very adaptable. There are a lot of layers there. She's a very strong champion. I have some Sorcerer gameplay from my old Map 7 videos. You're welcome to check that out, but I think MP and BMcG have some more relevant fights than I do. Nice, Manticore. Good luck. Okay, that should be it. Nah, Manticore, don't worry about that. For one thing, remember that like odds are you're going to get some guaranteed resources. That's the whole point of spending on the fourth. So I try to think about it as, your dad's given you this gift. Part of it is just because he cares about you and what you're doing with your free time, right? That's part of the gift right there. It's impossible to waste that. And then some of that money is going towards, okay, he's giving you some, I don't know, it's probably going to be like a rank up gem, some catalysts, something along those lines, something that there's no RNG whatsoever. It's just helping your account. And so consider that where the money is actually going. And then if you're opening crystals with it, you get what you get. If nothing else, your dad gave you a chance at more rewards for those, right? But try and see the actual RNG rewards just as a bonus. You haven't seen much Surfer? Surfer's great. 721 Modoc. I don't remember everything about that fight, debugger, but I definitely used Killmonger for it, and it worked very, very well. And he's easy to bring too, because one of the fights on the way there prioritizes some part of his kit. I forget if it's bleeding or true strike or intercepts, whatever, but that was stupid. All right. But yeah, Killmonger was great for it. Yeah, Surfer's really solid. I mean, he's turbocharged if you have Odin, because the pre-fights just really bring his kit online. But in general, I think that Surfer is underrated. He was very good for me in Battlegrounds. Hey, Richard, how's it going? Would Cole work? Um, Probably not, because the fight's a little longer than Cull is able to um manage auto block for. And I believe that fight also punishes blocking to some extent. Um, I don't know. You could probably do it if he's built up enough, but I don't have much experience trying to use Cole for hard fights. I hope I hope that's not what happens, Richard. I fully expect complaining from Thronebreakers, but I hope that there is enough of a gap to justify, the Paragon title coming out, but also a small enough gap that some Paragon players will probably be a little bit angry, because I think that's probably necessary for things to be fair for Thronebreakers. We'll see. I mean, yes and no, Snoozy. You don't always know ahead of time if you're going to enjoy a video game. I have definitely bought $60 video games in the past that gave me less enjoyment than I've got out of some purchases in this game. No, Manticore, you can't. You have to be level 60. I thought you had to be level 60 to be Thronebreaker, because my alt can't hold the resources to take one to rank 3 yet. Best place to gain XP, if you're trying to do it quickly, I believe MSD said on my stream the other day, is the very last quest of Act 4 where the Maestro is, and just go straight up the middle every time. You can use a gem. Okay, well, you guys know what I mean. No surprise that my chat gets technical, but come on. Yeah, I know about the sigil. I just don't expect a whole lot of um, people to be getting the sigil when they're not Thronebreaker yet. Yeah, the sigil gives you 50% more. So if you can hold 2, that lets you hold 3. What do you mean, Barbarian? I'm playing Arena right now. I'm confused by that. But good luck getting through variant 7. Think about it this way, Max. Like, for one thing, what Slay said. If you feel bad about it, um, then don't. There's no shame in not doing it. But if you feel like logically you can and that you would enjoy it and you're just having trouble talking yourself into it, then my advice would be like lean on what you just said. Like you have a job, you can reward yourself for that. You don't have dependents. So this is a time when you can spend on yourself and not feel bad about it. Just make sure that you're also thinking about saving for the future. Make sure that any income you spend on this game is actually disposable income, income that you can leave without. You're not going to be making any concessions on your rent, on your food, or on what you're putting into your bank account. I think that last one is the one that a lot of people get into trouble with, where they're like, I'm not required to spend this money today, so I can use it. Don't spend that money on a video game. But if you're saving enough, if you're paying your rent, you're paying your utilities, you're paying your other bills, you have your health care, etc., you're not missing your car payments, then this is the point in your life where it's going to be easiest to spend on yourself and enjoy it. So don't feel too bad about it. And variant completion, not very far, Snoozy. That account still doesn't have a whole lot of breadth in its roster, so variants are tough. But I specifically for the villain one, I have gone all the way through once, and I went all the way through for Blood and Venom as well. And I think that's as much as I've done at the moment. Hey, Illusion, how's it going? Yeah, we'll see, Richard. I will. I'm planning on streaming on Friday when they go. If you have the sigil right now, Manticore, and you can only hold 2, then I think you probably do need to experience farm. So just turn on those boosts and head into Act 4. Yeah, that sounds like you can afford the 30 pounds, man. But yeah, if you're about to head to university, consider that part of your savings, right? Because ain't cheap. Yeah, a night out is a good way to think about it. You just then have to hold yourself to taking one fewer nights out, right? Because Because if you're telling yourself, I'm spending on this game instead of getting, like, I don't know, a nice meal with a drink, then the next time that you go, all right, I want a nice meal and a drink, but I could cook at home, cook at home. Actually, hold yourself to that. That's something I'm not always amazing about with myself, but that is what you should aim for. Sure. Nice, Illusion. Good luck with the exams. Yeah, and at the time, Slay, experience farming was a waste. But these days, when new accounts are so different and you can actually get the resources to rank things up before you can hold enough of them, there are times when it does make sense. Oh, I should have swapped those. Should have been Penny for Karnak and Stereo for. My bad. For sure, easy. Because it is time versus money, but as much as you can convert saving time into money, you can only do that as much as you have money. Which sounds obvious, but the point I'm making is that, you know, the sigil is great value from a time versus money perspective, but if it eats into your ability to pay rent, don't get the frickin' sigil. Hey, Arrow, how's it going? Yeah, Madrox. Blank cheap. That's okay. For sure, Barbarian. Just always remember to be saving. Because whether you want to think about it or not, there will come a time in your life when you're not working, when you would like to still be able to pay rent and buy food. Gotta think ahead to those. That's funny, Madrox. Nice to have that extra freedom, for sure. I am also happy you have that freedom, since you're a member of my channel. And younger you probably would not have been. How much has everyone saved for July 4th? I mean, if you're talking about money, I haven't really saved anything for it. It's just a matter of if I think it's more than I can afford or not. Generally, I don't max out these sales, even the big ones. but I fully expect to drop 100 or two. And then as far as units, I'm closing in on 10k again. So hopefully between those two, we know, Slay, we know. Is 12,000 units going to be enough to get anything decent? Absolutely. You probably won't get whatever the big ticket item is, but yes. I'm sure there will be good things on offer for 12k units. Ooh, okay. Wasn't expecting that to miss. Thanks again, Metro. Yeah, that's totally fine, Barbarian. Everyone should find their comfortable level of participation in this game. I clicked this to avoid Kingpin, and here we have a frickin' Kingpin. Okay, that'll work. If there's a 3 to 4 gem for 15k units, you're gonna be salty. Keep some water on hand on Friday, Slay. I don't make bets on this kind of stuff, but I would be shocked if there's not some kind of 3 to 4 something. No, I don't think Thronebreaker is going to have a 3 to 4 gem. I think that Thronebreaker will probably have access to. Like, I would bet that spending 15k, 18k units as a Thronebreaker probably gets you the cats to get a rank 4. But I don't. If there's a gem, I don't think it'll be for Thronebreaker. And if there's a gem, I don't think it'll be generic. What I'm personally hoping for is that the capstone will be like a 3 to 4 gem nexus that you get to pick from one of 3 classes to avoid people getting screwed by that class roll after 7.4. That's I don't know that that's what I'm expecting. I know that's what I said, but that's what I would do if I were them. All right, let's pay attention to the fight. I hate when they do that so much. Almost as much as I hate that. Like, if I could change one thing about the AI, it would definitely be how they just throw light attacks, and then you have to dash back to avoid the light attacks, and they medium at you. Ugh. Tilting. Mirrorverse is fun, Max. I probably will stream it at some point. I'm having a good time. I don't plan on jumping ship. Unless something awful happens. Because I still think that there's more. I think there's more skill in this game from an execution standpoint, and I think that because you're only dealing with one champion versus one at a time, there's room for more strategic interactions between kits and for more tactics, and that's the part of these games that I enjoy the most. So I don't see myself getting to a point where I enjoy I'm sorry, enjoy Mirrorverse more than this. But I am having a good time, and I will probably use it to keep this fresh from time to time. You can definitely tell it's the same studio. A lot of the ability descriptions feel familiar. If I had to rank four science champs, how far is Miguel down the list? It's just hard. It's hard for me to answer that in the context of my own account because I have Reed. Um, if I did not have Reed and Reed was not an option, Miguel would be pretty darn high. I think he's very, very good, and he's a good mix of prestige, a sig ability that scales well, and overall power. I would pick Reed over him again, even if I had them both at sig 200 at rank 3. But if you have all of the options and you're picking your first rank 4 science champion from, out of all of them, he's probably in the top 3 or 4, given that I also value prestige. What sig is my mojo? I think he's only sig 1 beginning. Hey Snoops, how's it going? Rude. Can we purify the infuriate? Yes, we can. Please turn off. Nope, didn't turn off immortality. Fine. You jerk. I don't know why I did that. That was very dumb. Whatever, he's dead. Am I going to Whale and Mirror first July 4th offers? Absolutely not. I've spent a little bit over there, though. I I don't really plan to spend much more than I have, but I did spend a little bit to get rolling. I don't regret it. It's a fun game. Okay, Surfer, that's enough light attacks. Can't Dex in Mirrorverse? Yeah, the dodging. I've definitely had some times where I thought it should trigger and it didn't myself too. Yeah, the thing about the multi-character fights, Tony, is that I tend to I have to build a team so that the AI can handle two of the characters as much as possible is how I think about it. Hey, Wolverine. Only turns off immortality when you're playing against him. I've done it before with Black Panther, but my Black Panther is also, I believe, Sig 20. So we're missing out on a good 20-30% of possible ability accuracy reduction there at the upper end. No, Spider Miguel is best in war, Tony, but he is good elsewhere. He definitely is. Don't use him in Abyss, but Anywhere there's ability power, he's good. Anywhere where you are worried about how many hits you land, and so hitting into block to get around that is good, he's good. Anywhere where buffs are punished, he's good. There are quite a few of those. Like he's a good character. Agent Anti Venom is good on his own. I think he is good. I don't think that he is as good, anywhere near as good on his own as Reed or Negs, but I do think Anti Venom is solid. Um, no, I have to do this. Like as weird as Warlock versus Surfer is, I think this is the one. Wish the move could go smoother. I'm sorry to hear that, Snoops. Planning for my own soon. Be weird. Anybody have a favorite Mr. Negative video guide? There are several out there. MU8 has one that is quite good. Fell has an older one, I think. Um, I believe MP Blaze made one. It's just not very long, so it's kind of a basics video. But I would check out I would search for MP Blaze and then MU8. Personal tech top 3. For general questing, Nimrod is way up there. I really enjoy Guardian most of the time. And if I had him, Ultron would probably round that out, but I do not. So I don't know, maybe Punisher if I can bring in Cap. He's very good. I enjoy playing Darkhawk, he's just not. The synergy for starting in a phase isn't reliable enough. Who's my favorite YouTuber outside of MCOC? Off the top of my head, probably ProZD. Um, for those of you who know him. Ultron Penny Ghost. Penny is another good one. I like her a lot. Good lord, that's enough rank 4 dooms, thank you. I've never really gotten into Hulkbuster. Nothing against him, though. There are whales everywhere, debugger. Hey, Meta, how's it going? If there's a 2021 class gem, who will I pick? Well, it depends on, or if it's a Nexus, it depends on what option. Because Nexus is a choice of 3, not a choice of 6. Man, he was fast on that. Used to having time to block. Well, Tony, I will say that Spider-Man 2099 gets a lot better for general content when he's duped. But yeah, I would mess around with him. It's just very powerful ability power control. And the no buff thing comes up a lot. Yeah, I love Pro ZD Saraghost. He's funny. I don't care for the fact that he doesn't really like chocolate. Thanks, Beta. Enjoy dinner. Hey, PPG, how's it going? Some people say Penny is only for defense. Those people don't know how to use her. Simple enough. Side quest this month is free energy. You could, but those things normally do not give a lot of energy as a guard against that, so it would probably be pretty painful. Yeah, she's great, Barbarian. The ability to take no damage on a path if you play well is really, really solid. Whoops. A weird timing on that ghost combo. Yeah, if you've got time to auto fight, free experience is free experience. You're not wrong. Yeah, she's amazing in BG's PPG. Mine was often ranked, so I didn't get to use her, or was often banned. But I used her offensively a fair amount as well. Getting the authentic arena AI experience today. Bro? Oh? Okay. Maybe now? Nope. Thank you. Good lord. Yeah, Madrox, I'm still hoping that one of these days Kabam will learn from the other affiliated games and add auto completes for certain things. Because like if you 100% explore Cavalier Event Quest, like maybe I have to run through uncollected, but I should just be able to hit go on a master's event quest path, and it should just pick a path and complete it for me. I know that like the tech on that requires some work because the multiple paths in a given quest do make this game different than a lot of those other games that I'm thinking of, like Mirrorverse or Strikeforce. But I would really love to see it incorporated at some point. Well, sometimes the AI is rude, snoozy, but at the same time, try and try and remember that baiting specials is a skill that you can actively cultivate. And for the AI to quote beat you by not throwing specials, that means that you have done all of the things that do bait out special attack. They haven't worked, and you have hit the opponent enough to give them power and or messed up dexes in the corner. Like there's a lot of things have to happen before it's really fully on the AI and not a little bit on you. And I'm not saying that to blame. I'm saying that because that's something that can then be improved for the future. Hey, Cyber, how's it going? Yeah, Madrox. And I will say that like the path thing, it doesn't necessarily line up perfectly with the 70 energy that we have right now. So I get the problem. Um, but I think that energy overfill, when that comes to all accounts, will help a lot. And then I would love to see something like that. Whoa. Been a while since that's happened. Yeah, and that's just something to cultivate or to work on, Uzi, because it's not easy, but it is a skill, and it will save you. Well, two things there, Barbarian. One, Hercules' special intercept actually counts way more than other people's do. Like his window is artificially wide. So you may just not you may need to just work on that. You may be trying to intercept light attacks or heavies rather than mediums, which is specifically what triggers it. But the other thing is his special one has been whiffing lately. I don't know that that's been fixed yet. So maybe that's what you're dealing with. See, like there it worked. Either Stover. Kingpin and Fury are both ridiculous rank fours. Like, I'm not saying that illusion is wrong, that Kingpin benefits a lot, but if you try to put Kingpin, like, obviously, objectively ahead of Nick on the rank 4 thing, you need to check out Hyena's YouTube channel. Because a rank 4 Nick takes fights that he has absolutely no business taking and comes out the other side smiling. He's silly. Oh, and Stover, I did mean to answer your question. 1 second. Reset filters 2021. Okay, so if they have a choice of 2021 champions, then I'm gonna have a rough time. Because I'm probably just gonna have to take Shang-Chi because I don't have him at all. Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna take Kitty. I don't have her at all either. But if not for Kitty, I would love Shang-Chi. I would love a dupe on Scent. I would love a dupe on Miguel. I would love a dupe on Negs. I want Icarus at some point. I want Anti-Venom. I want Null. Like, you see my problem. I want Overseer. I want Purgatory. It would be a tough call. You're definitely not the last person to realize it, Madrox, because I hadn't quite processed it. That does sound correct. I don't know why I did that as though it was going to be unblockable. Like, that's not how she works. Anyway. Yeah, that's possible, PPG. I was wondering if you were behind user. Based on your last comment. He's good enough that he keeps up illusion, yes. The reason that I'm pushing back on that is just that I think that more so than Kingpin, Nick is overtuned. And so when you take him to rank 4, it's not just that he keeps up, it's that it opens up fights that he should not be taking, that he's one of the best answers for, because he just hits that hard. Again, check out Nerd's YouTube channel for what I mean. He does stupid things with. What I get from compensation? Well, I opened it at the same time as season rewards, so depends on how you think about it. Either I got Miguel from compensation and a Carnage dupe from season rewards, or vice versa. Nice images. Huge congrats on that. Null interests me a lot, even though I haven't played with him. This is another thing that makes Zoo so stressful to play, is when the AI does weird things like this. There we go. Throw it. Throw it, you jerk. There we go. Entirely too long for a Dragon Man fight. Nice. Congrats on Shang-Chi, Barbarian. It's awesome. Yeah, if anyone in chat, if any of my mods are around and can link Nerd's channel, that'd be appreciated. If not, I'll go grab it in a second. Yeah, that was too. Yes, you definitely can, Barbarian. Alright, bravo, Ben. I... Oh, Madrox. There's one easy way. Okay, there is Nerd's channel. Definitely recommend it. He's, besides being very good with Nick, Nerd is an incredibly gifted Doom player, so check that out. Thanks, Metro. Although now it might be the rich. Yeah, I definitely want Purgatory at some point. Alright, let's see if we can line up the ability accuracy reduction for Ronin. Turn that off. I have mods noted by their absence. I had a bunch of them around earlier. Yeah, Nerd does a ton of things with Doom. I I think there's an excellent chance I'll have a rank 4 Doom myself within the week. So, yeah, I've been using him a bit more. Nerd is the one that I tend to go to for examples of specific fights with him. Some of us are driving. Hey, work. I do appreciate you staying safe. Yeah, Madrox has been here long enough. I'm not worried about it. I should also say, I'm not necessarily worried about the rest of you just because you don't have a rent. That's just something I take my time. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? Purify the infuriate first. There we go. Hey, Nagase. Yeah, Ronin's great. I he was my what, second, third 6-star on my alt account, and I just kept taking really hard fights with him and them going really well, and so I decided to go ahead and rank him on the main, where I actually have deep wounds. And he is therefore much better. I like Ronin a lot. Nah, I don't think I'm gonna do that, Barbarian, just because like that's not really a thing, I don't think. Like there are people further in the story than my alt account, who have profiles that look weaker, but they lined up better against their opponents. And so I don't think that that adds a whole lot personally. Oh, I can open some of these. Say 5 of each. Do a bit of that. All right, ISO. Oh, you know what? I don't think I had claimed ISO earlier, so some of that went directly to my current inventory. That's a bit of a bummer. That's okay. Or ISO. That is good, though. I used a lot of Cosmic. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call the stream here. But I do have some videos planned for this week that I hope to get out soon. I'm planning on doing an update to the Alliance War Essential Attackers. That should be coming out sometime this week. Additionally, on Thursday, provided I get everything set up at home, I think I'm gonna try and stream as like the 2K subscriber thank you. I'm gonna try and stream a live war planning session because for those of you who don't know, SSX is not planning on pushing next season, and we already have a full season under our belts of this combo of tactics. So I feel like I'm not really giving up too much equity by doing that. And it's something that's been requested a lot. So I'll plan to do that on Thursday. And in case our opponents don't place a decent defense, I do have screenshots that I took at the beginning of this stream from the one that we're facing now. So that'll be my backup. And we'll just go through that and, I'll try and answer questions in the chat. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I think as far as next week, I'm going to start my new job. So streams are probably going to be more in the mornings, like earlier mornings or after dinner, not so much in the afternoon anymore. Just as a heads up on that. Yeah, I am low on gold PPG. I just took Airwalker to rank 3 at the start of this stream. I'm sure I'll get more on July 4th. Anyway, hope y'all are looking forward to that, and I will catch you soon. Take care, everyone.